Hello and welcome to the Vlogging Pod. Most Americans have heard the phrase before: the United States has oil in reserve. And when people hear that, it sounds like a safety net, like something set aside just for us. Something that, when times get tough, should bring gas prices down here at home. But lately, something hasn't been adding up. Because at the same time, people are being told that we have our own oil, that we don't heavily rely on places like Iran or Venezuela. Gas prices are yet still rising, especially during times of conflict involving those very regions. So the question becomes, if we have our own oil, then why initiate or step into a conflict involving a region that plays a major role in global oil supply and pricing? To understand that, we have to look at how oil actually works. Now, how not how it sounds, but how the system is actually built. The United States is one of the largest oil producers in the world. A significant portion of oil tied in our gas line supply does come from within our own country. That part is real. That part is true. But here's the part that most people are never really told about. Oil is not priced by where it comes from. It is priced by what the global market is willing to pay. That means even if oil is drilled here, refined here, and used here, the price you pay is still tied to a worldwide system, a system that reacts to conflict, fear, supply, disruptions, uncertainty, anywhere on the map. So when tension rise in a major oil producing region or when key shipping routes are threatened, the global price of oil goes up. And when the global prices go up, the cost of gasoline in the United States follows it, even if the oil itself didn't come from that region. And this is where the disconnect starts to feel deeper. Because on one hand, Americans are told we are energy independent, that we produce our own oil, that we have reserves set aside. But on the other hand, the prices we pay are still affected by conflict overseas when those conflicts don't directly supply our fuel. So, what about those reserves? The United States does have a strategic petroleum reserve, and that oil exists as a safeguard. But when it's released, it's not set aside just for American drivers. It is sold into the same global market as every other barrel of oil. It becomes part of the larger system that determines prices worldwide, which means even the oil we already have, even the oil that has been paid for over time by taxpayers, does not operate outside of the global pricing structure. And that leads to a question many people are quietly asking. If we produce our own oil and if our prices are still tied to global events, then why do decisions that increase involvement in already unstable regions continue to carry consequences that come home? Because the impact doesn't stay overseas, it shows up at the pump, it shows up in the everyday cost. It affects people who were told that having our own reserves would protect them from exactly this kind of situation. Now, to be clear, global markets are complex. Oil companies operate across borders, supply chains are interconnected, and no single country fully controls the pricing in isolation. But understanding that does not erase the contradiction people are noticing. The expectation was simple. If we have our own aisle, we should be insulated from external shocks. But the reality is more complicated. We are connected to a system that does not separate domestic production from global pricing. So when even the oil is ours, the price is not. Today's sources come from U.S. gasoline prices soar past 3.75 a gallon as Middle East war rages on. Reuters. The U.S. is the world's biggest oil producer, so why are gas prices rising here? Yahoo Finance. The gas prices have risen every day since March 1st. Investopedia. Thank you for listening. Until next time, bye bye for now.